right, welcome back. Today we're going to do another video. We're going to go over some tackle organization. I'm going to show you how I organize my tackle and why I do it. If it helps you, awesome. If you see some things where I can improve my tackle organization, please don't be afraid to throw that down in the comments and let me know. Hey, you know, if I see something that's going to help me, hey, I'm all ears. I'm all about trying to be more efficient on the water. So let's get after it. So the first thing I want to talk about is organizing boxes. Doesn't matter what kind of boxes you have. You can have this style here. This is the Plano, waterproof. I like to go all waterproof tight boxes. If you have them long enough, you own them long enough, and you put plastics in them, they tend to warp and not be as waterproof anymore. But that's okay. The ones you really should care about are the ones where you got your jigs, your hooks, and your weights. I also have something else that will kind of help combat that too. We'll see that. We'll get to that shortly. But you could, these boxes, you get the Bass Mafia boxes. I obviously, as you can tell, I'm very partial to the Bass Mafia boxes. And when the Googans came out with the green ones, I really liked that color. That was pretty sweet. So I picked up a bunch of those, and not all at once. They're $20 a piece approximately. So that's kind of a lot to spend all at once, not gonna lie. So then what I like to do is I like to organize my boxes. So here I got my stick worms, and I pretty much got my worms from here, from stick worms to speed worms to my my Mondo worms here, the big worms. I got more bigger worms underneath there, the zoom ones, and then I go worms, craws, bugs, punching stuff, frogs, creatures, and swim baits. I'm picking usually out of this first row for plastics. And I guess, I didn't show this another one, but I have another measuring stick here too, back up. And then, I got a bunch of, back here too, a bunch of baits. Like I showed you in the other video back in there. And I'm going to take one out, because I'm going to show you what I like to do with my plastics. So I'll just take out my frogs. Well, see, that's not a good. No, that's not a good one. Let me take out one where I've got them all written on there. You know what? Let's just take out the saucy swimmers. I'll show you why I want to do this. So I'll put what's in there on the front with a label maker. And I use like the vinyl one, or the one they call it the plastic label. It lasts the longest. And then on the top, I will put the color that's in there. I didn't really need to put 4.8 because I've got it right here, but that's all right. But I'll put the color, I'll label the color here, and well, if you own plastics long enough, you get used to the color. So typically you really don't need to label the color. But say if you got multiple brands in here, say if I got Guggen, or we got Kitex or Bass Pro Shops, whatever it is, and you can label which is which. I really like that label maker. It makes things easier to find. So technically we can close this. We don't need to go in here anymore. And this right one here, it's mostly my topwater and hard baits. So like I said, if you know what's already in the box, you get used to it. You really only need to label the front if you really want to. Or you don't even have to label anything. If you really don't feel like it, you don't have to label anything. This is just me. So I'll take out my Rapala DT box here. So you see, I don't have it labeled here, but I can tell which ones are which. Other than the fact that I've got it right there. I've got, the 1 and 4, the 1s, DT3s, I got DT4s, 6s, and 8s. So I have them labeled to go from here up. Same thing with the other DTs, the 10, 14, 16, 20. The first one's 10, and so on. So a little bit of a, here we go, let's take this one out. I'll show you one that's got, okay, so I don't have labels on these here, but for someone, if someone's going to go into this box, they wouldn't know what any of these are, other than, of course, here this says Rapala. I know what these are, so I know what they are. So these are the Slims, these are Tinies, these are the Roccos, but then we got some other square bills here, and we got some Rapala Brats here, and some other deals here. Okay, next one here. Here's one. Here's a good one here. So we've got I've got hair jigs here. So if I don't really want to label them, oops, sorry about the camera here. If I don't really want to label them, I'll put like part of the packaging in there. And I got part of the packaging here for some of these, and that way I'll know which ones are which. But so here I got the 10,000 Fish Cycle Blade 3/4 ounce, 10,000 Fish Cycle Blade 1/2 ounce, so on, 3/8, 1/4. And down here I've got Kalen's Marabou 1/4 ounce, Kalen's Marabou 1/8 ounce, Kalen's Bucktail 1/4 ounce. Here it is for 1/8 ounce. And then here I've got the Arrow Jig Marabou. And here I got some extra underspins. And then down here I've got the new first gen. They're actually top spins, and I got some underspins here too. So really like to label these, accordingly. Oops. Spinner baits. Took me a little while to get used to this box, but I really like it. So I've got, these are all condensed. So I've got the Guggen ones here. I've got some spinner baits that I modified here. On all my War Eagle, I got some underneath this Lunker Hunt willow leaf wire arms. I have a couple of random ones, and then I've got some other. I got my Picassos right here. So this is a labeled spinner baits, and so this is a box that you can buy from Plano. Pretty good little box. I like it, and it's actually it's pretty compact. And next, what we're going to look at is how I organize my hooks. Flip this out here. Oh yeah, Bass Mafia is coming out with one where it's just one front one. That'll be nice. So if you look in here, every hook or style of hook has its own bag. For example, I use a lot of hammer hooks. So I've got 3/0 hammer hooks here, and so these guys, you can see there, 3/0 has their own, 4/0 has their own, and so on. I got them organized, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. I do that with all my hooks. I got some of my VMCs here. I got some of my drop shot Nico hooks here, and some more Y gaps here. My straight shank flipping hooks, which I never use because, well, we'll get into that another time. My underspins, my belly weighted underspins, some of my frog hooks, and then some Tokyo rigs, some Guggen baits, frog and soft jerk bait hooks. They call it the dart hook, frog and dart hook. And then I got some extra stuff over here, like say some swivels and all that, snaps and stuff like that. And I got some rattles and some extra blades to customize them. But these little bags here help keep the hooks from transferring over into other compartments. And even though this has 4 snaps, one on each side, and it does a pretty good job, hooks can still get up to the top and over here when they're jumbled around. I have not had one issue with this, and if water happens to get in here, these bags can help protect a little bit from getting rusted and corroded and all that other fun jazz. And so those are the hooks. Next, weights. You see how I got that? I undid these first 2 here to get them out because I got them in there so tight. Weights, I do the same thing. And what I will do is, so I've been using the heavy metal tungsten flipping weights, worm weights. I really like these, but they're getting hard to find, so I'm starting to switch to the VMC ones, and The reason why I was doing heavy metal tungsten, well, the tungsten weights are expensive no matter what, but they seem to be a little bit better priced, but they're harder to find now. And I like BMC weights. I've never had an issue with them, so that's probably what I'm going to do. But what I do with all my weights, and hooks too, is I put part of the package, I put part of the package in there so I can see, okay, heavy metal, tungsten, flipping weights, and then this says 1/4 ounce. There's typically nothing on the back, but I keep it in there, and it helps keep it a little bit straight too, and I can organize them. I can flip through them like that, kind of like pages. So I'll do that with everything. My Nico weights here, skirts. I've got swim bait inserts here, weighted inserts for going for line throughs. Some my bobber stops, or the weight stops, whatever you want to call them. That's really how I go about with my tackle. That's really the main part of what I do with all my weights and my hooks, just to keep them safe from transferring over in other compartments. I will do the same thing with jigs too, if I can, because it's the same thing, and it keeps them from fumbling all around and getting all banged and beat up and taking the paint off too. It keeps that from happening, and you can organize them. Now I got this thing pretty full, but I've got I got finesse jigs in here. I got mushroom head jigs. I've got shaky head jigs. I've got I've got scrounger head jigs. I got big swim bait jigs, smaller swim bait jigs, and so on. And these things, this box is pretty heavy, and it's this is organized. I don't have any labels up on top, but it's fine. I pretty much know, as you will know for your own box, how you have them set up and where to find them. So, and like I said, water gets in here somehow. These bags, they'll help protect those hooks and keep them from rusting. Not 100%, but it'll help somewhat. All right, we're going to look at the buzzbait box. So I was a little on the edge of what to do with my buzzbait box. Now the spinnerbait box here is you can actually use put buzzbaits in there too. That's made for that as well. But I didn't like how the blades were folding over the other one, so I just opted to use a deeper box, and it works great. Go in there. I can we'll find one right here. There we go. Throw that out. So this is the Guggen Hummer. We got some War Eagle ones here. Got some beat up. There's one that's kind of rusty there, but that happened for me leaving it out elsewhere, not from in the box. I got a couple other ones in here too, random too, but that I like, that we'll probably throw later. I got some JE Custom jigs in here as well. He also makes buzz baits. I've got a black one too, but it's on my rod, which we're gonna throw this spring. But yeah, that's my buzz bait box. And like I said, I wasn't sure how to organize them, so I started doing this, and it works. Now these deeper boxes, they do tend to take up a bit more space, but that's just part of the deal. All right, guys, well, that's how I organize my tackle, and it's been working for me really well, and I hope some of that will help you guys too. And like I said before, if you know any cool tips or things that would probably help me out better too, or even if you just want to share what you do, go ahead, throw it down in the comments there, and maybe what you do might help somebody else, might not, but maybe someone else's comments might help you out too. So throw them on down there, and let's hear what you guys do too, or if you got tips for me as well. But yeah, we got more videos coming up. We're gonna do a tour of the truck camper, some of the updates on that. That's coming up. So be ready for that one to come out. I'm not sure how far out that one is, but we haven't done it yet. We need to wait for the wind to calm down first. It's windy up here right now. But anyways, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And for the ones that you have, like I said before in every video, I really appreciate you guys. And until next time, we'll catch you later.